to ready up, and then we will see an 11% witch and a 35% tank. This is going to get rolling way early.
Indeed it is, and actually I don't think I shouldn't actually say on stream, so I'm not going to, but we're going to bypass what I was about to say. But anyway, would you like to do the honors of a roster rundown while we wait for Loud to ready up? And actually this is ready up, so this is perfect timing.
Indeed. So, starting off on Survivor, we are going to have Team Kamikazi Heroes with Bullhead, Singus, Shades, and Big C. And for Team Ayamanashol, we're going to have Agu, Kie, Loud, and Spartan. Boomer going in there's actually going to get popped as I'm talking. Thanks, guys. Jockey goes in 2, Hunter gets dead stop. Both of them get killed. Spitter goes in. That's a nice shutdown there by Team Kamikazi Heroes.
Wait, could you say Cygnus again?
Cygnus.
Did you say Cygnus?
I said Cygnus, I thought.
I think you said I think you just said it weird, made me giggle. But indeed, we do have a witch up here, and it should be an easy crown here for these survivors. Indeed, Shade's going to go in and get the easy crown onto the witch, and Survivor's going to continue moving their way through the map here.
Yeah, indeed, after they take down that witch very nicely after killing that hit, I'm not exactly sure whether or not it was smart for the infected to hit before that. I actually would have considered saving the hit, but they are going to send another one in right now. That jockey is spawned up, coming in from the front. Boomer spawns up way in front as well. They're going to send all the Charger's going to get a nice charger, but they're going to get leveled by Coach. Very nice play. Splitter lands on nothing. Another very nice shutdown going in, and it looks as though Team Kamikaze Heroes is really on top of it right now before this tank. Those are 2 great shutdowns to start off.
Indeed, we're going to see the tank up actually come up right now, and it's going to be in the hands of Loud and Vicky. I think his name's just Loud. Vicky.
Loud.
I think Vicky is just his girlfriend. But anyway, we do have a Team Kamikaze Heroes war room. We do not have, unfortunately, a Ayamanashol war room.
Yeah, and I believe it actually might be better. Do you want to send it over to a Kamikaze Heroes war room now, or would it be more? I think it'd be better to hear their SI.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and send it over to a Team Kamikaze War Room. Wait, you don't want to?
No, I asked if I think it would be better to hear their SI, and they're on Survivor right now.
I mean, we can do both. Oh, beautiful.
We should let's just keep it here because we had that tri-boom going there. That charge did land. So that's a nice little bit of damage going out from Team Ayamanashol right now. Tank's gonna be throwing a rock there. He's gonna miss. Survivor's gonna keep LOSing. So I don't know here. The strategy that Tank's probably going to use, he's going to probably try to stay running around that to keep sight, but the Survivors are actually... Oh, a nice rock landing on Big C, so now he's definitely going to have full rage. He's just going to keep it up there and try to curb those rocks that are under the bridge. That was a nice hit.
Indeed it was, and actually there's a little... I don't even know if it's legal, but I guess it is because I saw it in one of the casts. There's a little spot behind the tank. You can get actually behind the foliage of the trees. The little sprite, and I've never seen a tank do that before, but I saw it in one of the casts the other night, and I was really blown away. I'm actually surprised that that wasn't like blocked out by the map of the creator. But we're gonna have an attack going here. Smoker lands for a second there onto Nick, and Hunter lands as well onto Coach. Boomer drops his butt in there, gets a nice double boom out to Survivors. Another rock lands by Loud onto Rochelle. This tank is being beautifully played right now, just manages to land rocks and keep LOS all day long.
Yeah, like you said, after those first 2 shutdowns there that we saw from Kamikaze Heroes, it seems as though Team Ayamanashol is where it's kind of come alive. And the thing is, the Survivors are behind that tree log, and a couple steps behind it there is where the safe room starts. And since they're running around in there, the tank still has 100% rage and 5,700 health.
Indeed, they have to really change up how they're playing this tank on the Survivor side if they really want to try and cut down his LOS and eventually make him commit. Because right now the tank's in no position to commit. He's fine. He took about 500 chip right now. Down to 5,300 now, actually. Survivors are getting quite a bit of chip on him. Throwing these rocks is really hurting him. But Survivors really need to either hide off to the left and behind the tree or next to the bridge. But we're going to have an attack coming in here. Jockey, Charger, Boomer working the way in here. Charger and Jockey leading here. Nice double cap. But Boomer gets popped a little early there, so nothing can come out from him. But still a beautiful double cap there. And this is going to be another rock, I believe, onto Coach. Did that land?
Yeah, it's going to be a rage rock. It didn't calculate the damage, but the open field hit there is very effective. Tank is going to actually now just kind of crouch down and try to hide from Survivors. As he gets through a rock, he's taking a pretty fair amount of chip now, actually. He's down to under 5k. He's going to keep just trying to pretty much crouch and not take as much. He still has 82% health, but it's a very, very nice tank being played so far, I have to say.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he as you said, he has taken about 1,100 chip up to this point. But look at the Survivor's health in return. Like it's the best trade-off you could hope for. Even if he keeps taking another 2,000 chip here, by that time they're gonna have 3 of the Survivors down in the bleeding zone, as they're all sitting at about high 40s right now. We have an attack coming here. Nice Boomer going under our shell, and a poke goes out on the Coach. That's gonna put him in the slow zone. So this rock might have a chance to land, but no, he sidesteps and the rock gets skied anyway. But with the Horde coming onto Rochelle here, there's still a chance for another rock to land.
Yeah, and there was also a hunter on that hit, and they skeeted that. And due to the fact I think they tunneled the hunter there, the boomer was able to just kind of drop right through. The tank almost might be able to land a rock on Rochelle since she doesn't have a shy to skeet that, but he's keeping that rage at like 90%, and he still has 79% health. So still a great trade-off, as we mentioned. Now Shades will indeed have to commit those pills. And the Infected keep getting boomers, so as long as they keep landing the boomers, they should be able to play this out. I don't think the tank has any idea of committing right now.
No, definitely not. If I was him, I would just keep this tank up here all day long, and let the SI just whittle the survivors down. We're going to see yet another attack coming in here. Charging gets shut down immediately after trying to charge a survivor. The only thing really doing anything was the boomer, and that's going to be on to Coach. Call a bit of Horden, and this tank's taking no chip whatsoever. Survivors have to realize by this point that he's not taking any chip.
Oh, what a rock!
That actually hit Rochelle?
That hit Rochelle, yeah.
Wow. And that's going to put Rochelle
beautiful.
down to the slow area. She's going to be limping now and have to pop those pills if she wants to be fast. Survivors have to push. Like, they have to realize if they're firing their Uzis from that far away, the bullets are only doing like 3 or 4 damage a shot. Like, it's not much at all, and it's not worth even spamming. They should just be LOSing and make and commit. There's no car in the safe room that's hittable. There is a car, but it's obviously, stationary. And another attack coming in here. Nice double cap going out by the survivors. Jockey initiated, but got shut down immediately. And, yeah, stationary car.
They're pushing.
Kind of a pun, I guess.
Yeah, they're pushing right now. They know that, like you mentioned, they weren't LOSing there. Now they're trying to chip the tank down even more. They have to be a little bit careful, though, because if they run too far forward, then they're going to get into spawns here, and the tank's going to be able to jump in on them. So, Big C is still continuing to push here. Now, they might rotate back. He's going to throw another rock down there. It's going to get skeeted, and the Infected now do have spawns. It's going to be a Charger, a Jockey, and a Smoker. So, nice tri-cap coming up here. Survivors have to be careful with this play.
Definitely. If I were the SI, I'd throw it in right now, and that's what they're going to do. Send in the Jockey and with the Charger right away, and Smoker's going to look for a pull. Misses his tongue, though, and everything gets shut down. Really, the only thing that can affect anything right now is the Smoker. And he gets a nice pull, but a rock lands on the Coach. That's the big part right here. Resets Loud's Rage up to 100%. He's still on first pass, and that's 3 pills committed, and Shades is slow, so Bullhead's going to have to pass those pills if he wants to help out his friend Shade.
Yeah, honestly, this has been a beautiful tank so far, and the survivors handled the first part of that hit very well, but then once the Smoker landed, the rock cover actually did get 24 damage and the rage refill. So now that that's happened there, the tank's just going to be able to keep playing bleed. He still has 25% rage on first pass, another infected hit coming up. Boomer, Hunter, and a Smoker here. Smoker has about 144 health up. They're probably going to try to make sure they land the boom on this hit to keep the survivors occupied. Survivors just going to keep running back into the safe room like that. Hunter is spawned up now with that Smoker. The rock's going to go way high to get this distraction, and Hunter's actually going to get dead stop, but the Boomer's going to go in there. It's going to land a nice, what the hell, I thought that was going to be more than one, but now it's a 2-boom. Smoker gets cleared, but now this is yet another just wave of Horde going in. They have not chipped that down much at all, so this is just a beautifully played tank here all around by Team Ayamanashol.
Indeed, and this might be one of those fun fact moments. For those of you that don't know, SMG has the worst drop-off damage of any gun. You're better off taking out your pistols and shooting this tank right now. Shotguns, they literally have less drop-off damage, but shotguns are based off of how many pellets land. The pellets themselves don't have much drop-off at all. So they might as well just go grab some shotguns and shoot the tank instead.
Exactly, like you just said. Now that Jockey's going to go in there, it's going to be able to land on the Shades there, and they're going to have the rock throwing into cover. Charger's going to chest bump their Big C, but I think they actually might be able to get coached down. The Boomer's going to land another boom. They keep landing the Boomers. Rock's going to go in there, is going to get skeeted, but now Shades and Big C are both close to being at 1 health. And like you said, with the chip, what the survivors need to do there is they all need to line up behind the one tree in the back where they're not in the safe room and LOS them, but instead they've just kind of run around under the bridge. So due to the fact they haven't really LOS that much, this is just going to be, this is heading towards a wipe.
Yeah, I don't see this ending any other way than a wipe. Bullhead's been holding that health bonus high and strong over his head for a while now. But once his 3 teammates go down, I don't see him being able to 1v1 this tank. Tank is down to 2,500 HP, but it's just way too little too late. 2 of the survivors are sitting at 1 HP, and really this Jockey should just go in for scratches probably and just incap both of them.
Hunter's running up silent from the back there. Jockey's going to go in, like you said, he's going to get dead stopped. He's actually trying to land on Bullhead there. Pounce is going to land in. That is going to be a down on Big C, and the Smoker is going to miss his pull, but that is a down. Now it's another down onto Shades. They're going to get the pull onto Nick for a couple seconds. He gets killed, or the Jockey gets killed, but the thing is, they actually incapped him in the safe room, so the tank still isn't going to lose rage. Still 25 on first pass, and he has more than enough health to wipe the survivors right now from a long distance.
Yeah, like I said, I don't see it ending any other way. It was just kind of poor survivor play by Kamikazi Heroes. They really needed to either LOS really hard or
push really
understand
hard.
the game mechanics, and that their Uzi spray isn't doing that much. Even if they're all hitting him, it's not doing that much at all. But by the time the next SI attack comes up, they were maybe doing 300 damage between each SI attack, and that's just not enough to kill his tank off. And then plus the SI attacks actually landed effectively.
I see another one there with that proxy on a coach, and then that's going to be a rock that actually lands onto Nick. That was a beautiful long-range rock. Jockey got shut down. When I say push really hard, I mean they should have gone up there, right, got the chip on the tank after taking that hit, and then backed up again so that he'd also be losing rage as they ran back, but they did not do that either. Tank's going to keep throwing some long-range rocks here. Shades is down and boomed. Tank still has about 2k health, so still has a third of his health. Throwing another long-range rock, and the Uzis are trying to chip him, but like you said a lot of times, Kissme, they're just not at the distance, and they don't. The drop-off is too brutal.
Indeed. I mean, game mechanics are a necessity to know for this game to actually compete at a higher level. And really, Loud's just playing this tank perfectly. He knew that these guys are just going to spare me with Uzis. I can just sit here all day. Another attack coming here. Smoke gets shut down immediately. Boomer lands on the coach, and Jockey's taking Alice or Nick back into safe room for a bit. And that was actually quite a long ride on the Bullhead. Going to bring him down to about 4 or 5 HP. And
the other thing is, all these boomers, pretty much, except for maybe one, they've all landed in at least one person, so that's just been Horde constantly coming in. The survivors haven't really been able to even keep a peace of mind during this tank, and they're all just sitting at close to 1 health, honestly. Cygnus only has about 5 HP, and that's all. That's the only problem really they have left, and Loud has just been playing this out perfectly. Like, he's gotten 5 rocks so far, but that's not even the story of it. His SI hits have been absolutely wonderful.
it did. His team is just really making this happen for him. I mean, if they didn't land, basically, he would have died eventually. And it really just a story. The Burmans keep landing. The Starvers is really not playing this tank correctly, and it's going to end up in a wipe. I don't know why the Starvers are even still sitting in the safe room right now. I'm a little confused.
They got the pull there on the Big C, and Bullhead is also down, so now he might try to rock Coach here. The tank has enough on him to avoid that. Smoker's gonna jump in there and try to down Coach, but he gets pushed off, but so Shades is able to pick up Big C, but he's choking him out right now. And since he's at 1 health, this is another Hunter Boomer combination, and they keep dropping him to pick up Ellis, who's down in the bush. But this Boomer's gonna jump in here right now. Boomer's gonna land again on the Big C, and then the Hunter actually manages to in-cap Rochelle. Hunter's then gonna get skeeted, but then that's gonna be another boom there, down onto another down guy. Rock's gonna go in there and kill Shades, so that is the 6th rock landed by Loud on this long tank, and then they're gonna have Bullhead try to pick him up. He's gonna get down by that. Was such a great tank. Oh my goodness, Team Ayamanashol.
Yeah, exactly. Just perfectly played by Loud. His teammate just backed him up perfectly. They complemented each other wonderfully, and that was an easy tank wipe because it was just played perfectly. I mean, there's not much else to say. And for those of you asking why they're playing on a New York server, actually, Big C just told me that Ayamanashol picked the server. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know if the rules say you have to use a Dallas server, or the home team can pick, but it's recommended you use that server.
Well, I think it's recommended that you use the servers. I think it's, but the thing is, if the team who would be at a ping disadvantage specifically asks for a server where they're at a ping disadvantage, like there's really no reason to say no to them because they're choosing to play with that ping. The only reason I'm guessing with that is maybe because they've practiced with this ping or this latency, and they also know the quality of Zen Digital servers too. I honestly don't know.
I could see that happening, but yeah, that's all I know, guys. I don't know exactly why they're using this server. Just I'm in the dark just as much as you guys are. My only thought would be if they have someone from like Spain or something, or from the EU playing as well. I don't know. That's why they're using New York.
Well, I'm looking at it right, and it's a New York-based server, but it said that all of them pretty much joined from. I thought it was Peru. Let me check.
That's a little strange. But anyway, as we just saw, that was a tank going out there with a Ayamanashol and getting the wipe onto Kamikazi heroes, so that was a pretty short round for them. The exact point total is 156, 2-0 obviously right now. We have yet to see a Ayamanashol survivor side. And there go my events, finally popping up. People will be a little disappointed that the cast has already been live. The teams were here and online, so they decided let's just play the match now. So we started about 15 minutes early. And that was actually a really long tank now that I think about it.
Yeah.
That was like 12 minutes or something, actually.
It was something ridiculous, but the other thing is that I noticed, I went back and I scrolled through, and it's 2 from Argentina and 1 from Peru. So, I still don't understand, maybe, and especially since Loud's ping is the best, and it says that he joined from Argentina, so, I don't know.
I mean, whatever works for them. If they wanted the server, you know they got the server.
Indeed. So for our first attack here, 4-team Kamikazi here, it's going to be a Boomer, a Hunter, a Spitter, and a Jockey. Hunter is jumping around, pouncing around. Boomer's going to go in there from the back. He's going to land a nice 2-boom there. Hunter gets skeeted, and then they actually do manage to get the jockey M2'd, and a little bit of split damage going out from scratches. So actually a pretty decent amount of damage going out from Team Kamikazi Heroes to start.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Especially after the initial Hunter got skeeted, I thought that would really spell no damage for the survivors at all. But Alice did kind of just stay on the spit there. We have Asar going for the crown of goo, getting the full crown onto the witch. Pretty easy once again, just like Kamikaze Heroes mirrored on their half. And we're just going to see the survivors just sit here and try to, bait out this tank. Actually, bait out this next attack. Although I don't think the SI will actually throw the attack in because it would be ill-advised because the tank spawns pretty shortly.
Well, the Hunter spawned up. Maybe he'll be getting the tank, question mark, because he's looking to go in, actually. He's crashing out. They're going to send a hit in. Hunter's going to go in there right now, and the Charger's going to follow up. Charger's actually going to miss his charge there. Boomer goes in as well. Boomer's going to land onto one. Charger gets a couple of punches there. Jockey has a nice ride in the back on Ellis, but then they do manage to clear that, but now they will not have a hit for the way back when that tank spawns up.
Indeed. But, I mean, they did get a lot of damage with that tank. Or not the tank, but the attack. And, Kyo's almost at the point of bleeding. He's in the mid-40s right now. And if they could just do a little bit more damage on him, they're going to make him pop pills. And maybe on the run back, that'll be one set of pills down. But we are going to have the tank.
They're going to have another hit, Kissme.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't get this attack up. Or the tank. I'm getting attack and tank messed up. That's going to be my thing for tonight.
Yeah, this is just giving Kamikaze Heroes all day here, since, like you said, QO, they're going to actually have a smoker spawn in now. It's going to pull Alice into that tank spawn. Charger's going to miss his charge there. Spit's going to go on the Pound Survivor. And I think it's time for a Kamikaze Heroes war room, Kissme.
Indeed, let's send it over.
Oh, he went down.
Ooh, let's send it right over.
Fuck him up. Just stall, don't go in. That's good hit.
Nice rock.
That's free damage, I mean, why not, right?
Go on back.
Just pressure him. See if I can get this. Climb up here.
You can get that boom. At least 2.
Go for me, Shades.
No. It's too
It's
late.
gonna be on second pass.
Or don't.
You can get a rock right here.
Nope.
Nice.
It's still passed.
Oh.
That's dumb. It's fine.
Climb up the
shouldn't
top. Go up the top, bro.
Get up there.
Run all the way around like this.
Yeah, that's definitely what they did.
That is safe from if you're on the other side of that fence. So.
Yeah, so you won't lose rage. They probably got a plan
They
for
are
it.
losing.
Because he moved up. They moved up.
Oh.
They're not in the safe room. Reloading. Are we just going without calling now?
I'm just trying to get the boom. And we have 3 cap.
Well, we should all win.
Nice.
I got a rock.
Good hit. Good
I
hit.
didn't want y'all to go in because he was at 40%.
Oh. It was likely you would have gotten a rock though. I'm ready whenever.
You going in tank or are you rocking?
Look what I did.
Want a rock?
Tongue guard. I mean, just apparently you're not in range from that far away, which is strange.
They're pushing it.
You can take Chib, just don't lose too much rage. That's bad.
Oh.
You're just gonna go for distance now.
Yeah,
Just so they're ahead of us. That's kind of sad, honestly.
shit.
Dude, you're gonna
That's
lose
fine.
it.
Yep, I am.
He's gonna lose it.
No, I'm not. Got it.
We gotta
Don't
go.
lose
though.
it.
That boom
We gotta
right
go
AI.
like, right now. Go, 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 go.
Nope.
I'm stalling him.
You win AI.
Yeah.
It's okay, they might actually die here. Or tank landed a rock. 1 down,
He's only going to stay on the.
2 down. Oh yeah, that's
I
too
landed
bad.
to 25.
I thought L4D2 tanks weren't supposed to do this. Oh, there they go. Their pings are too high.
Don't boom.
And we're back.
Yeah, that was a very interesting turn of events there, and actually 2 down still went out from that tank, and QEO is still bleeding, but the rest of the hit is coming in there. That spitter gets a little bit more of a delay. Smoker is going to be able to pull Coach into that spit. That's still a nice amount of damage going out, all things considered. There, the tank did indeed go after a little bit of a rock tank there by Bullhead. An interesting push by the survivors. I'm not exactly sure if I would have made the same call due to the fact their health looks the way it does right now. But I guess it is technically a win for Team Ayamanashol since they do survive that tank, so they'll be able to make up some distance if nothing else.
Definitely. How practical it is for them to make the safe room, I'm not too sure. They will, I don't want to say will, but they will. I think they may wipe here before the safe room, but we'll just have to see what they can do and what they can manage to make happen. And we're going to have another tech coming up here inside the house, or maybe they're going to drop from the roof onto them. That seems plausible too. We're going to have Hunter begin working his way and pass it around in the back, looking for a distraction. And I'm not really sure what he's doing. He's just taking a bit of chip right now.
Kind of a so-so hit since the 2-2 with the Jockey Hunter, and they do have all 4 SI spawned up right now. It might be just kind of like a sack hit, honestly, because there's not going to... I don't think a whole lot can come this unless the survivors were inside, but they're playing it very safe, and they get a nice 2-boom. So maybe something will come out of it now. That Hunter's going to still be bouncing around there. Nice 2-cap, never mind, I spoke way too soon. They're going to get an in-cap there onto Nick, and then they're going to ride Rochelle in the spit, and that's going to be almost another in-cap there, and Coach is taking a lot of damage as well. Honestly, when that happened, I thought the survivors should just backed up and then just been more careful than that, because if they watch the spawns a little bit better, that totally doesn't happen.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, they had to kind of push forward because they were all bleeding pretty much, so it's in their hands to pretty much make something happen. They just can't stand there. So I do see why they push forward. It's kind of they were forced to somewhat, but nonetheless, a beautiful hit coming out from Kamikazi Heroes onto Ayamanashol here, and that's gonna put them all slow. So they're gonna be playing the crawl game now.
Yeah, pretty much just crawling and staying together to get that distance. Have a nice hit coming up now for Kamikaze Heroes with the spitter, a charger, a smoker, and a boomer. So another 2-2, but they do have the charge spit smoke. There is an alarm card and note outside here. I don't know if... Yeah, the boomer looked to spawn near, but now he's going to be changing his position a little bit. Survivors are just going to inch forward and get this a little more distance, so they'll probably end with about 300 points due to the fact they also get the witch bonus. Tech's going to be going in right now. Smoker's going to be pulling from the front. Nice pull to Nick through the trees, and they're going to have that charger going in there. He's going to get a cover under. Actually, he's going to get killed before he's able to do that, and then Nick has died, and the boom has gone out on the Coach in the back. It looks as though the survivors are just going to let Coach funnel that horde and get as much distance as they can at this point.
Yeah, that is probably their best option. Actually, Ellis is staying with Coach, so we're going to see Coach stay alive for the time being, seeing as how he is that health bonus. But Rochelle's just saying, YOLO, we're going. We got some swag going on here, and Rochelle's just running it. What I want to know is, why does Rochelle still have earrings in?
Cause, man...
I never thought about that, but Rochelle still has hoop earrings in the zombie apocalypse.
I dress with style during the zombie apocalypse, man. Gonna have an attack going in here now. That jockey's doing a nice distraction in the back. Hunter's gonna be looking for a DP from up front. They have the boomer and charger too. Hunter's gonna go in there and get nicely skeeted by Signet. Or wait, what? Gets nicely skeeted. Said he was team skeeted. Okay then. Charger's gonna get chipped down a little bit too. That jockey's also chipped. Did the charger crash?
Yeah, he got crashed or he got stuck, but no, he did crash. Big C disconnected. He's loading back into L4D2 right now, as my beautiful Steam overlay tells me. And we're gonna have a pause going out here because obviously he crashed.
I mean, honestly, right now the survivors are making some pretty nice distances, depending on their, their health is pretty bad, but they're still able to crawl along and get these couple distance points. And like I said, we still have the 25-point witch bonus to go in. So instead of 300 now, it's gonna be actually even closer to 400. So not a bad chapter at all here after that tank from Team Ayamanashol.
Indeed, and maybe they'll even make it through this next tech, who knows. But going back to that tank for a second, he landed that one rock onto Ellis, and he wasn't even aiming at Ellis, he was aiming at Rochelle, but Rochelle moved to the left, and the tank compensated for Rochelle, and it just hit Ellis by, chance, because Ellis moved to the left. So that was a little unfortunate for Ellis. Rochelle kind of making him eat the rock for her.
I mean, and that's still, I think the fact that he got that rock there, refilled his mage meter and was able to play a little bit of a long tank, but then when he tried to go for the push and the survivors ran too far forward, and I was actually first person inspecting the tank, and I saw him trying to get the sight, but they were just underneath that cliff overhang, so he couldn't see them. We're going to be seeing another attack going in here right now. That Smoker's going to get a pull onto Alex and gets the in cap. Hunter's going to get nicely skeeted there by Spartan. Nice shot. Boomer's going to get popped after landing onto 2. Smoker's still around looking, and the spitter has not spit yet.
The spitter could probably just go for a free spit onto Rochelle, and if he lands it correctly, he'll probably down her. But instead, going to opt to spit over to Coach. I'm not too sure why spitter went for that. But we're going to see a Smoker go and gets killed before the actual tick can go out onto a goo and kill him, or in-cap him, I should say. And we're going to have a survivor with 1 HP and a survivor with, 5 HP, making their way through this map.
I mean, they're still getting the points, so that's the important thing. That Charger's going to rocket spawn, goes in there, does get the down, and he gets the kill on Rochelle as well. So that's going to be a total score of 426 points for Team Ayamanashol down to the 156 of Kamikazi Heroes. So pretty interesting first chapter so far.
Definitely. I have to say, like I said, I don't really know who's going to win. I didn't want to pick because there's just good players on both teams, and everyone in this game has pretty much been around for a long time, like 2 years plus. So they know the game, you know, for the most part. I still can't believe the Kamikaze Heroes sat there and shot at the tank with Uzis for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a little disappointing to see, though.
That's the interesting thing about the custom maps and stuff like that, because even if players have been around for 2 years, if you have players who maybe have not been around as long, studying the map more intensively and maybe finding out a couple of those tips and tricks before they go into matches and stuff. I'm not saying that Team Kamikaze Heroes didn't look at the map, but obviously it seemed as though they miscalculated something with the chip there. So honestly, it's really anybody's game, especially due to the fact that it is detour ahead. A couple other interesting facts to mention about the map. I believe it's been in the community for how long?
This map is going on 3.5 years, I believe. It's a pretty old map.
Yeah.
It's been updated quite a bit.
Mentioning it right, like even if the players have been around for 2 years and stuff like that, dissecting custom maps and like that kind of map knowledge, you really don't know how important it is until you start playing on a map that you don't know.
Yeah, then... Sorry, I had a cough. But, yeah, you really don't know until you start playing on custom maps, because then you have to go back to your roots and you have to be like, alright, let's look at this area and let's see how we're going to dissect that. Where should we send S-Iron? Where are good hits to, or where are good places to capture survivors? How would the spit spread in this area if we were to do this? And we're going to have attack going in. Hunter Jockey landing simultaneously. Spit goes down onto the Hunter, and that's going to be a lot of damage out there onto Nick. My spec cut is up right now because I am a nerd. That's going to be a lot of damage onto Nick. He's down to about 25 HP, I want to say.
19, yeah. That was a great first hit, and you know what? That's really going to help Kamikaze Heroes, because we're going to see a tank at 33% here. So the fact that they've gotten that chip down already onto Nick means that they're going to guarantee 1 bleeding for the tank after he commits his pills. I think they still have a couple hits to go, because according to my survivor progress, they're not even at 20% yet.
Indeed. There might be one more hit before tank comes up, and Mick Fix left. Oh, wait, the spec slots. Oh, that's why I forgot I shouldn't mention. We're going to have an attack coming in here. Jockey Hunter working the win. Hunter lines onto Rochelle in the back there. And Boomer spawning behind her. He gets a triple boom out. That's going to be quite a lot of damage onto Coach up in the front as Jockey did take him away. And then Char's going to take that and just pound away at Coach. Doing actually quite a number on him. Dropping him down to about 45 HP. And now all the survivors have boomed, actually. So that's going to be quite a bit of horde coming in on them. And we will have the tank finally coming up in the hands of Cygnus for Team Kamikaze Heroes. What do you say we do a SI War Room?
Let's do it.
Can't go
You
that
hit
way?
this van at the end, too.
You like whip a car over here? No? Okay.
He's a little far away.
I didn't
Pretty
know you were
far
that
away,
far.
dude.
Oh,
So
Fucking
far
kill
away,
me.
dude.
thank you.
You're welcome. Did it inadvertently.
You can hit the white van. Yeah.
They're gonna go inside. That's where they're going.
Ooh.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they're staying inside.
Going to safe room. We'll see it hit.
Oopsie. Oopsie.
Going in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on. Let's go, boys. Really, you guys? You want to leave some for me? For fuck's sake.
Nope.
Didn't want you to sec.
And we're back with an absolutely beautifully played tank there by Cygnus, and the SI support was just to die for pretty much, as the survivors found out. That was the biggest pun I've ever said, and I feel so bad for saying that. I'm sorry
No,
to
you should
everyone
feel
watching.
good. But that's usually my thing. Usually I'm the one who puts in the terrible puns.
I feel horrible.
Alright, well, now that I've recovered from that mentally. Yeah, that was a great tank, honestly. He pushed the survivors. He got a nice double there when I think Ellis tried to close a door back there. And when he tried to do that, the tank just kind of cleaved and got Rochelle and him at the same time. Then, like you said, that jockey was able to land, and then the Charger did a beautiful intercept on the Q. I thought, no, it wasn't Q. Never mind, I'm retarded. So, after that, they only have about 570 points for Team Ayamanashol through these 2 maps. The pressure's really going to be on there to have a great tank at the start.
Indeed, they need to have a good initial attack here, try and bleed out one of the survivors right off the bat. We're going to Spitter going in, but just kind of free spitting out there, not having anything to go on to. But a nice boomer onto Cygnus, but it ends up pushing Cygnus out of the spit there, unfortunately. So a little bit of misplay there on the boomer.
I thought it was actually a misplay on the Hunter, because when the Hunter pounced him like that, I thought he gave him God frames for a second, and then the stumble didn't count. I think it might have been more damage if the Hunter didn't pounce.
I would have to go back and look at it, but
yeah, either way, not a whole lot of damage going out from the first hit. A fair amount, but not nearly as much as Team Ayamanashol got on their survivor side. We will see another hit coming up here. Jockey, Boomer, Charger into Spitter. So pretty much it comes down to how well Kamikazi Heroes takes this hit. They need to make sure they get back into position to fight the tank, and they need to make sure that nothing stupid happens with these cars. Tank's going to be up right now, and like we said, we do not have an Ayamanashol War Room. Going to be seeing the hit going in right now. This Charger just kind of running around getting killed. Nice double boom going out. Jockey's going to be hopping around right now, looking for Coach. Coach needs to be careful. Nick's going to come over and cover him, though, so not a whole lot of incident. And Tank's in the hands of KO. So I'm just going to see exactly where survivors take this. I think they're probably going to take it in the same spot.
Survivors need to move, though, because this tank is getting really close to these 2 hittables up front here. And they don't want to be caught by this van. Tank's going to go for the hit on the van, puts it into play. And I don't think he's going to get anything with it, though. It's in a really awkward spot to get a hit on the 3 survivors.
Yeah, he missed it. Yeah. But if he puts it inside the store...
I'm still waiting. If someone gets this car inside of the store during this week, I know today's like the last day of games, but if one of you can get it in there, I will cast it. I'll write you a love letter. Let's go with that. Is that good?
Grail? Send it to me. Because, by the way, this is just a kind of an up... No, never mind. I'll say that after the tank. They did sack a spawn there, so now they're going to have a Hunter and a Charger. Tank's still on first pass with 60%. He's somehow... How's he keeping sight?
I think the Stars are continuing looking out the window at him, trying to get Chip, but they're missing every shot and just giving him free rage, pretty much.
Yeah, so now they do have the, they're going to get the track out. Well, Smoker in here, I don't know exactly how good that will be, but they'll probably just kind of go with it, because now Tank is going to climb over this fence here. Unless he's going to try to get a rock, that'd be a little bit impractical. He's going to run past the van, Kissme, so not this time. He's going to be committing in. He's going to be looking right now for that initial corner onto Ellis, but there's some weird stuff going on here. He's jumping, and I don't know if he should be. Long arm punch there onto Ellis, so he's going to get that. Charger's going to land as well. They have the survivors backed up now, but unfortunately, the Hunter, the Smoker, and the Tank all went for Ellis, and he got God-framed out of it. And he's going to God-frame Coach after hitting the Smoker again, so it's a little bit miscommunication there with the SI. He's going to miss that punch there, and Coach is going to get hit one more time, maybe down, close to it. They do get the down, but the SI is all dead, and that's going to be the end of that tank.
Indeed, a little bit of misplay there, and the reason he was jumping on the counter was because of these little bad boys right here, these cast registers. There is no ramp or invisible ramp going over them. It's just kind of a brick wall.
Unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, because then he couldn't even commit in the way he wanted to because he was getting stuck on the cast register.
Yeah, pretty much. Every time you jump with tank, for people that don't know, your speed gets decreased, and it's just part of the game mechanics itself. You don't run as fast as you can right after a jump. It's kind of like if you jump in real life, if you're running at full speed and you jump, you're not going to continue running at full speed. You have to, like, you know, stumble or whatever you want to call it. But we're going to have an attack work his way in there. Hunter does manage to land onto Coach in the back, and Spitter actually gets denied by a tree, and Boomer gets a nice proxy onto 2 of the survivors. Jockey gets flung up in the there, and I think Spitter's going to go to despawn. Indeed she is. So we will see a Spitter up for the next attack. And so I was going to go check out this little house here on the prairie.
Survivors have to feel pretty good about themselves right now, though, because they have Bullhead with 93 HP, and then Cygnus and Shades are bleeding out, but Big C still have all 4 pills, so this is a pretty good situation for them, especially since now that the tank is out of the way. Only other thing that might impede them a little bit, well, there actually are a couple things that could impede them, including the Witch and the event, so I don't know if they're going to make safe room. Depends on what Ayamanashol does. There's still a chance for them to keep it really close. We're going to have a Hunter actually going in from the back right now. Attack's going to go in. Smoker's going to land on Rochelle for a quick pull. Then they're going to try to cover with that Hunter, but he's not going to be able to get it right away. Lands onto Rochelle. There gets a couple ticks of damage. Charger's going to get chipped down before he goes. He's actually going to land onto Rochelle, but the spit just a little bit too early, so that won't be a whole lot of damage going out, even though the pinners did manage to land.
Indeed. I'm not too sure, but I think the spit was actually denied by one of the survivors. One of the survivors actually put themselves in the way of the Spitter and the Charger, so the Spitter couldn't actually land the spit unless he were to, bounce the spit off of something else.
Yeah. That's why Cygnus said yes there, I think, because he managed to get that double save for the rest of his team by sacrificing his body.
Indeed, and that's just a little one of the little like. I hate this alarm so much, and now it's just ringing in my ear.
He paused it right as the alarm started, like right as it started. But they're gonna lose. I think it was a boomer on that spawn, so it was either boomer or spitter because they can't get quads, unfortunately. So that's gonna be a little bit of a miss there. But then I think Infected are probably gonna wait for a lot of the horde to come in or some survivor separation before they send this in, because it's a pretty nice tri-cap with the Charger, Smoker, and the Jockey.
Indeed, and one thing you don't really want to do with this attack, especially with this attack, because it's during an event, you don't want to put the boomer onto one person, because that makes all the horde funnel to that one person, and the other three SI can, or the other three survivors can just really clean up the attack easily from that point on. You want to try and land onto at least 3 survivors. Even 2 isn't really all that much, because it just frees up the other 2 survivors to do whatever. The only time you should really boom on one survivor is if you have a boomer spitter, and then like a charger or a hunter, because you pounce or charge that person, the common wrap around them, and then with the spit down, it just, the survivor can't get out of the common and the spit fast enough, and it will most likely get you an end cap at the very least.
Yeah, and if that does so happen here, but again, we're going to see a delay on the spawn timer, I'm pretty sure, due to the fact that Agu did crash. So hopefully they're able to get some more damage here out onto the survivors as they work their way through this event. It's still a pretty relatively close game. Ayamanashol actually still does have the lead by about 60-some points right now. Indeed, that's going to be 14 seconds on that spawn timer, so Infected will probably... Actually, no, they're going to go right now. Focus's going to go in there, is going to land onto Rochelle. So Jockey also runs around for a distraction. Not going to get a whole lot. They're going to land that charge there onto Nick for a couple ticks of damage, but not a whole lot to be said. Jockey does get killed, and then the Smoker's going to be running around with full health. Probably going to try to get another pull here. Last spawn is going to come up. It's going to be a boomer now, and he's probably going to wait for the survivors to go a little bit further. Yes, he does. But that was a little bit of a long spawn there.
Yeah, this boomer's pretty much useless right now. Coach going and getting the pop in the hands of Shade. And that was a little bit of a misplay there by that boomer spawning from the back. You don't ever want to really spawn up in the back with a boomer. It's just not efficient because boomer, as you know, is very slow, and his boom has a limit to how far it can actually arc. So you want to try and spawn it either... Oh, go ahead.
Survivors, sorry to interrupt, but they're about to engage a witch, I think. Yeah. They're going to engage that witch, and they're going to make a climb over the fence here, but he's not close enough to kill her before she gets in. He's actually going to fail the crown there. That's going to be a down to Shades, and then they're going to get a pull to cover with Spit. So a nice amount of damage going out from that witch there. Sorry for the interruption. I saw them about to shoot it.
Oh no, it's fine, but as I was saying with the boomer, basically with boomers you want to try either spawn in front of the survivors, or you want to try and spawn above them or below them, somewhere where you can arc the boom onto them or drop onto them via be walking out off the ledge pretty much onto them, or rocket booming. And for those of you that don't know what rocket booming is, basically while you're still spawned you move much faster than any spawned in SI. So what you do is you just run and then you jump and you spawn in mid-air while the survivors still can't see you, and then you press the spawn button, which is M1. And you'll go flying in at the survivors at your SI, ghost speed. It's just a little game mechanic that a lot of players use.
Indeed, and we'll see exactly where Team Ayamanashol sets this boomer up. If you see his ghost, he's actually moving around to try to be somewhere in the front. Hunter is already spawned up here for this attack. They have a spitter and a jockey as well. Hunter's gonna go in there, get nicely skeeted by Bullhead. Boomer spawned behind again, unfortunately, and got shut down. Spits on nothing, and the jockey gets killed too. So nice shut down by Kamikazi heroes. And if they go fast enough, they actually might be able to make safe without another hit coming up. I think they will.
Indeed, I think this is pretty much safe from right now. They'll have a spawn up by the time they make the safe room, but he's not going to be able to get a spawn himself fast enough. Cygnus jumping on the alarm card just for a nice touch, and survivors are going to just walk their way into the safe room. What a health bonus too, wow.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice health bonus to this map. Plus, well, actually they don't get the 25 for the witch, but still, that's a nice lead going into the third chapter. Just over 500 points, pretty much. Or actually, I can't math right now. It's 570. Wait, they're doubling the score. Wow, that's cool.
Pretty much.
So I don't know, honestly, because with the way Tank went, it was just unfortunate that the Tank wasn't really able to get his initial corner there, and then when the SI got in, they were all pretty much shut down before the Tank had a quarter on anybody, Kissme.
Yeah, the Tank really just kind of made a couple mistakes, especially when he started jumping on top of that counter. It's kind of like once again, one of those known things that anything in the map is just going to stop you as an SI. It's really unfortunate, but it's the truth. This map has quite a few invisible walls or clippings, I guess you could say, and they do affect the SI and even the survivor play at points in time. But at the same time, you also use the horrible clipping of some of the maps to, get to places you're not supposed to. Some of those places are blocked in this map, so hopefully you don't see them exploit that at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna see exactly where this. I'll be interested to see exactly where this tank spawns. That's 53%.
53 is gonna be. Oh boy, I think that might actually be after they drop down into the sewer. Might be just after they drop.
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Usually the ones that I saw were pretty early, as a matter of fact, like to the point where they would be fought inside the warehouse. So that's where my team fought them. So, but yeah, I mean, again, a couple of different spawns. So we'll see what our special infected team can do to whittle down the survivor's health before then. Opening task is going to be a hunter, a spitter, a jockey, and a charger. Hunter already is pre-spawned on the building to the right of the survivors. Looks as though the jockey and the charger are going to come from the top there. So yeah, I don't know if they should wait until they're off the scaffolding or if they're on the scaffolding. What do you think?
Actually, I was reading chat, but there is a spitter, so I would definitely say just throw it on the scaffolding without a doubt. Even if they just dogpile one survivor right now, it's a guaranteed end cap almost, especially if the hunter lands, because then the charger just punches the guy while he's in the spit. But we're going to have the survivors running all the way up the scaffolding before this attack initiates. We're going to have a hunter, jockey landing, and the charger lands. Oh, wait, what does spit do? Oh, spitter actually landed. I thought the spit really missed their spit there. But a really nice big spit going out there. A lot of damage going out. Loud getting 74 damage with that spitter. So really nice on him. But beautiful SI. The cappers did their job perfectly, pinning the survivors into a corner. And Spitter just, capitalized on it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful hit there. Spawns are going to be coming before the survivors are off the roof now, but they're going to have to commit 2 pills if they want to stay fast through this event. A mini-event, I should say. Looks like the Infector are going to be launching in from the back and momentarily. They're actually not going to drop yet. The jockey's going to spawn up and kind of scare survivors around. Turn's going to go in there. He's going to get a nice charge onto Ellis, but he gets... What the
He's dead!
Charge.
Oh my god!
They could have been midair. They could have been midair. That was the problem. He got launched off. That's the survivor's fault. After he went off the building like that, they could have been midair, and it thought Ellis just got launched. So that's going to be a death. The other 2 survivors have fallen down. That just changed this game completely.
Definitely, and this tank is actually somewhat late, so that's a lot of distance points that Ayamanashol can make up just in general right there. And that was a huge misplay there by Kamikazi Heroes. Once again, another fun fact of the day, for those of you that don't know, if someone's getting charged off quite a high ledge, don't clear them. Let them hit the bottom. Because if you clear them, they're going to continue falling at the speed that they're being charged at, and it basically ends up in them falling straight down at that speed, and it's a death pretty much.
It's almost always a death. Another favorite part to do that is when map 3 of Hard Rain, when you're coming down from the sugar mill, right, and you're running like at a certain level, maybe across the plank or something like that, or not the plank, but the little bridge area there during the middle of the driving rain sequence. Like, if you get charged off of there and your teammates clear you when you're going down to where you're about to land on the ladder, that's a death. That's a death too. I've had that happen both against me and to me in scrims before. But yeah, that's just painful.
Indeed, that's highly unfortunate for Kamikaze Heroes, but you have to be aware of those things. You have to know, alright, stop shooting. You just have to let it play out right now. But unfortunately, they kept shooting and it just unfolded into a death for them.
Yeah, now really that was a gift to Team Ayamanashol, and they just need to prevent a total misplay on their side, because odds are, not saying it's impossible for the survivors to survive the tank with 3 people, but with the attacks that they have to face in the middle here too, it's going to be very, very tough for them. Have an attack going in here right now. Hunter's going to be popping around there. Smoker's going to miss his pull. Hunter gets shut down. Jockey's going to get shut down too. So the 3 survivors managed to shut down the 3 pinners there, but at the same point in time, like I said, they have this tank coming up relatively soon. Brewer's going to spawn up there and get some boom on Rochelle in the back, so that's going to funnel the common to her. They're still kind of dealing with a little bit of common from this event, but they're just going to keep kind of push on here, because the more distance they get, the better it'll be for them.
We have guns here.
Trying to see, they're at 41%, so only 12% more of the map to go, so we probably will see a tank up for Team Ayamanashol here. Kissme. Okay, gotcha. I will keep talking. As I keep talking here, we are going to see the tank up for Team Ayamanashol in the hands of a goo. Survivors are in full rush mode right now. Tank's going to actually push in there and gets a punch onto Nick. Gonna get another punch onto Nick. Nick is stuck in the ceiling. That's unfortunate. Charger's going to land onto Rochelle, and the Hunter will land as well, so that will be the wipe for Ayamanashol again. That lucky death, or not lucky, but fortunate charge going in there after Kamikaze Heroes cleared it. Unfortunate for Kamikaze Heroes. Very nice for Ayamanashol. So that's only 279 points for this chapter for Kamikaze Heroes. Big chance for Ayamanashol to make up a whole lot of ground.
Definitely, and I'm sorry for the kind of a dead air piece there, but I had a phone call. So
Oh.
I had to be a good person. I had to answer it, but I was like, all right, I gotta let you go. I am casting a game. And they're like, what's casting? And I was like, you're not my friend anymore. So I'm down a friend. If anyone wants to be my friend, my ad, or no, not even my ad, you can see my Steam page on the Twitch, and you can go to add me. It's okay. I'm in need of friends. Friends wanted.
I'll be your friend, Kissme.
You're already my friend.
I'll have my other personality be your other friend.
I'm scared.
Oh jeez. On that note, pretty much if team, the thing is though, that death charge was a little bit unfortunate, but there are a couple other death charges that can be hit by the infected team on the survivors when they get to that roof.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, pretty much any... Let me just go and show this on camera fast. If you fall through any of these skylights here, it's massive amounts of damage onto you, and that could be whether you get smoked onto it, jockeyed onto it, charged onto it. No matter what happens, as long as a survivor actually steps onto the glass, it will break. So that's just one of the game mechanics for that roof, and it's a pretty deadly one if played correctly. I haven't seen a team actually utilize it, except for the jockey that landed on this last half. I think that was the only S I ever saw so far actually use it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Survivors have been pretty much able to be clean of that hit. Honestly, like, I see less of the hit coming there and more as we saw actually happen, more as when they're jumping off to start the event, because everybody knows that the ladder choke that is inside the warehouse here leading to the roof is also pretty dangerous if the infected team has spawns for it. But I think in all the games I've seen, honestly, they've been able to blitz through there without another attack being up, maybe like one game. So we will see the first attack here coming out for Team Ayamanashol, or actually no, Team Kamikazi Hero, sorry. They're going to get a nice charger into the safe room with a double charge, but unfortunately the spit was outside. There's only going to be a little bit of damage there. It could be a lot more, so 41 damage is nice, but that spit could have been a lot more devastating had it been able to get in the safe room. Unfortunately the spitter wasn't exactly, the position just wasn't there. So now we will see Team Ayamanashol pushing into the warehouse here, trying to make it up to that ladder choke before a full attack does come up. The spitter's going to be in position though. I might be eating my words here again because we're gonna see the spawns coming up. Like Ayamanashol seems a little bit disoriented maybe, because I think we had 2 go one direction, 2 went the other direction, and now there are indeed spawns. Spit's gonna send out a delay there, and Alice will get out of it. But they have a nice hit upstairs, Kissme. Jockey, smoker, charger. That's what you want.
Definitely, and especially for any ladder, this is the hit that you want pretty much. And sorry for the dead air once again. The same person called me back. They didn't understand what I said the first time, so hopefully they don't call back again. But yeah, this is gonna be one big attack.
Call back again.
No callback.
Yeah, no, that's what you mean. Casting more important.
Oh, but what we should have.
You should invite him to do a tri-cast with us. Just
No, not happening. But hopefully, what we want to see here happen, if you want, of course, Team Kamikazi to have a good hit here, we want to see the jockey leading first, get the jock onto the first survivor, and then pretty much the smoker take the next one, and the charger take that guy and throw him off the roof, probably back towards the safe room. That'll pretty much end up in an end cap and just put the survivors way back, and then the spitter can just do whatever.
There's a little bit of a corner there. I don't know if you can see it on camera from where you are, because I don't know where you are. But if you look to that railing that's on the side there, like next to the door where they come out, if you charge in the exact right spot there, or maybe a smoke pull to the door and you charge an angle in that direction, that's a death charge.
I actually never even thought about that. That is true.
Like, I don't know if it's designed to stop you or not, because I'm looking at the way the roof is slanted, but I think maybe the railing is just there to prevent too easy a charge. We have Ellis bopping around down below there, trying to get a pick on any of these SI that are spawned up. I don't think he's going to be able to get it, though, and we do have Nick, who's going to be... It looks as though they are going to try to go for the death charge, even, because the survivors are baiting out here, but the spitter looks like he's positioned to hit outside.
Indeed, and survivors are going to finally push up the ladder. Spartan does finally, man up, decides, I'm going to be the one to do this, but unfortunately he can't spam through the walls. He just tried because there's a ventilation shaft there. Or system, I guess. And now we have 2 survivors up in the room here, and this could be pretty bad still. I mean, the survivors are up the ladder now, but this death charge is still very prominent and possible.
It's on the smoker, though. The smoker needs to land the tongue, I think. And he missed. Yeah, now he's chipped down. That's great survivor baiting right there.
I want to know what...
the tongue again? There you go.
I want to know where this jockey is, though. Why is he still not pre-spawned? There he goes. He gets the spawn. But Charger actually misses the charge completely onto the survivor and just stumbles him for the 2 damage. Spitter has absolutely nothing to work with, and jockey's shut down just as fast as everything else. And that'll be an attack. A little anticlimactic there for Kamikaze Heroes.
That was just a beautiful survivor handle, honestly. Like this, they baited out that tongue so hard, and then once they were able to do that, Smoker missed a couple times, got picked down to half health, and then they picked him fully on the next shot. So that was just survivor play by Ayamanashol.
Indeed, we're gonna have a slight explosion go off in the map, and that'll trigger a little bit of a horde here for the survivors. Survivors actually playing pretty passively here. They're not even gonna aggress with this little bit of horde that comes. They're just gonna sit here and possibly take another attack. And we're gonna have Hunter working his way in here. This could be the foretelling of an attack coming in, and we're gonna have Jackie spawning up as well. This will be the attack. Hunter, Jackie working away with Smoker. Smoker gets a pull onto Coach, and Hunter, Jackie lands just as well onto Rochelle, and that's gonna be Coach and Rochelle inside of the spit. I go into a tractor trailer by accident, so everything went black in the background for a second there, but we're fine. We're back. We made it out of the trailer.
I don't know how I feel about the conservativeness coming from survivors right now, because like I understand the fact that they have a great opportunity here, but at the same point in time that took more damage than they probably would have taken if they had just continued forward a little bit. Like the horde really isn't that much at that mini event there, because I think it's already over as a matter of fact.
Definitely, and this could turn into a pretty close game, as our friendly config maker Jacob just pointed out in chat. Like as we said, Ayamanashol is down by about 570 points coming into the second map, but actually no, third map, I lied. But at the same time, they can just pretty much make it back right here. Like if they can, I mean the tank's in a pretty bad spot. It's gonna be a lot of damage if not a wipe. We're gonna have an attack coming here. Hunter gets shut down right away. Jackie and Charger both miss their targets. Jackie does get a rechock onto Coach though. That'll be a little bit of spit damage going out to Coach. Coach is probably gonna incap here actually. Indeed, there's an incap. And that'll be the end of that. Coach is down inside of the dead spit, but that's not going to really count for anything.
Yeah, and that spread was a little bit unfortunate there, because when Nick ran through to clear him, the spit was just a little bit off. If the spit had been a little bit over to the towards the wall a little bit more, then Nick would have also gone down. But right now we're going to see the team, what is it? Yeah, Team Ayamanashol going forward here. About to knock down that ladder, but another hit will be up for Team Kamikaze Heroes. Actually, they're not knocking down the ladder. They're going a very nice... yeah, they knocked down the ladder. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I'm good. I'm the one on medication.
For those of you that don't know, that's a reference to the 5 antibiotics that I am right now. I'm pretty loopy right now. I'm a kite. You know the rest of that saying.
Kite.
I am a kite. I'm not as high as a kite. I am the literal kite.
Yes.
We have a smoker up by the alarm car here. The survivors do end up shooting it, so it's going to delay them pushing a bit here. They definitely don't want to push in the tank with this horde up. Spitter going for the free spit. No survivor's going to walk into it, though, and Hunter land onto LSF for a little bit of damage. An okay attack. Really no major damage coming out, though, but it's going to delay the survivors and allow Loud to bleed out a little bit more. So it does, in some sense, accomplish something for the SI.
Yeah, and it also stopped the survivors from moving forward. Not that they've been moving too fast, though. We mentioned them being somewhat conservative, and really, they have been extremely conservative. Just kind of taking the hits very slowly, making sure all the common are cleared and stuff. And like I said, it's kind of been mixed results so far. I'm not really sure if that's hurt or helped them, depending on the damage that they've taken from these hits. Charger, Jockey, Boomer, Smoker for the next hit for Kamikaze Heroes' next hit. I don't know exactly when they're gonna choose to send it here. It's gonna depend on tank spawn too, because they're probably gonna wager that the survivors might want to come back upstairs for this tank, but I'm not entirely sure. What would you do in this situation?
I would probably throw it in and just hope for an attack on the way back. But especially if they do run back. If they just stay somewhat forward here, then it's not gonna really matter at all. But there's a lot of cards here, so I definitely see them falling back. Health will be an issue for them because Spartan's slow right now, and Loud is also on permanent bleed out, as we can see. But survivors are going to continue pushing in here. Smoker goes for a pull onto Spartan, does land onto him and can pummel inside the apartments.
Oh.
The rest of the SI didn't go in though, but Spartan is down the actual full drop down hole, and this is the hole that you can't get back up without actually committing to, and then going back towards the ladder to get back up through the hole. That's a lot of hole.
Right, so they'd have to get back over to the hole in order to get back up. Now the tank is going to be spawned up. That's a very close spawn too. We should send this right over to the worm, I think.
Indeed, let's send this right over to a Kamikaze war room for this tank.
Let's do it.
No!
I'm dead.
Charge it.
Shades, you going in, dude? Tank's like dead. At least you're gonna get him down.
I'm gonna have a hunt, yeah.
You shouldn't have got that down. That guy's stupid.
Just hold off.
Yeah. Stop stalled.
Send AI, send it AI.
Yeah.
I'm sending AI. I'm sending
Ball head, let's go. What the fuck, man?
And we are back from the Kamikaze War. And what do you think of that tank there, Rails?
Reloading.
Pretty close up. We got a lot of damage and looked close to a wipe at for one point. That boomer's gonna land a nice try by one of the survivors as well. But yeah, no wipe. But it really did take away a lot of the potential for Ayamanashol to make a massive comeback on this map. Like, they had a lot of health pre-tank, and that tank did enough to make it where they're just gonna be slow, just pretty much going for as many distance points as they can now.
Yeah, I don't foresee them making this. Actually, I should take that back because there is a pill room up ahead with a lot of pills. We're probably going to see at least 2 or 3 pills come from it, and we'll see if they can use those efficiently and get the distance. But we're going to have another tech coming area. Jockey, it's a nice jock onto one of the survivors in the back. Hunter line's just as well on the coach, and Charger goes in the back as well onto Nick, and that's going to be quite a lot of damage onto Nick, actually. So, and then a really nice attack.
Yeah, I mean, really, Kamikaze Heroes has played very, very nicely this chapter, despite their survivor misplay with that insane death charge. Survivors are going to be able to navigate this next hole, though, without a whole lot of resistance, but it's really important that they push that pill room now before before Kamikaze Heroes gets another full hit. Unfortunately for them, the spawns are indeed coming up, so it's going to be a Boomer, a Hunter, and Jockey Charger. So another nice tri-cat with Boom here. They do manage to push the pill room right here, and it's only, what?
No pills?
No pills.
Oh, they're in trouble. This could very well be a wipe right here. Survivors basically have to climb up this ladder, and at the top is just death.
That was an interesting Boomer right there. He tried to boom down the hole. Oh, goodness.
So we're going to survivors kind of just push this ladder here. They might just all rush up at once. No, they're going to stun Rochelle. She's going to get down right away probably here. Rest of the survivors do just start dogpiling upstairs. 1 down, 2 down. Rochelle actually doesn't go down. She has about 10 HP left. Boomer goes down to the 2 down survivors, though. So I'll call in a bit of horde here and try to delay the pickup, but it's going to be an easy pickup regardless.
Rochelle's just bad. Just going to town there on those common, and as their teammate does manage to get back up. So they don't get wiped at the hole, and I think the best they can probably hope for is to get just a little bit more distance and that free Witch Crown. Indeed, they go for it, and oh, Nick missed it. Now Nick is indeed dead, so they do not get that extra 25 points. They have managed to draw it a little bit closer now, only about 400 points separating the teams. Now Charter actually stumbles down Rochelle there, and Coach has also died. So now it's up to Alice to pick up Rochelle and make the rest of this map, but he's getting scratched by a spitter, and he dies. So that'll be the end of the chapter.
And Kyo refuses to shoot this common. So common will cook Kyo, but round's already over, so it doesn't matter.
Indeed, so still pretty tight game, only 403 points separating the teams into this 4th chapter. Now, as we mentioned in the previous cast that we did on this, the 4th chapter is ridiculous.
Yeah, this 4th map is just... It's almost unfair. A lot of teams don't like it because of how long it is. It's literally like 2 or 3 campaigns combined into one. It's quite extensive, and it's really just... It's a tough make, or a tough wait. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's just a long map. Let's go with that.
It's a tough map, and then also, we should also mention that the event is a doozy.
Oh yeah, the event. Basically, before you even start the event, you have the possibility of getting killed. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or but. If there's a double charge, you go over the railing. If you get smoked off the wrong way or off the ladder, that's going to be a death. If you get jockeyed off the ladder, it's going to be a death. As our other streamer Ninja once showed us in a scrim, if you press spacebar off that ladder, you're going to die. It's just really unforgiving in all factors of it. And so basically both these teams have quite a task to accomplish with that. And then once you start the event, you still have the possibility of getting death charges. A little bit harder because there were pipes that were added along the bridge to stop the death charges that were so frequent and happening. And then once you reach the end, it's just wide open again, and the death charge promise is just there, and it's hard.
Yeah, you said it, and the most interesting thing that I've actually ever seen happen on that is that the bridge is terrible for tank pathing, and I don't know if you were there for the game of SSS versus Serious Business yesterday, right?
Yeah, I was there with that whole thing. Let's just go into it. My whole thing is it was the SI's choice to back the tank up and go for the hittable, and that's why it went AI. So it was kind of,
right.
It was on them. But regardless, we are going to go live here with the 4th map. We're going to have Kamikazi Heroes on the Survivor side, leading it off with a Ayamanashol over on the SI side. Boomer looks for initial boom, but gets popped immediately by the Survivors. Big C with the quick reaction there, shooting it down. But we still have a Charger, Smoker, and Jockey in the wings here, waiting to go in. But it looks like they're going to hold out here for something.
They actually might wait for the next for the Spirit to be up due to the fact that a little bit of Horde does spawn statically at the beginning here. Indeed, they are going to wait for that. Interesting call. Interesting call. I'm undecided as whether or not I like that. Rochelle is lagging behind us a little bit here. Yeah, and they will. I don't know. I honestly don't know if they should have sent that or not.
I feel like they're waiting too long to throw this attack in. It's one thing to wait for a choke and hold for a choke, but I don't feel like there's any real chokes around here except for the train and the crescendo. So I don't really see the point of them holding the SI this long.
Yeah, this is a mini choke here, but really they aren't even going to be able to hit on that unless they decide to go in from the back, which it looks like they are lining up to do with the Jockey and the Smoker. There's going to be a Jockey, Jockey, Charger, Smoker, Spitter. Smoker is going to spot up there. Actually, the Jockey and the Smoker both spawn up in the back. This is not going to go the way Ayamanashol likes right now because the Survivors here was to run forward there and get the separation. Charger is going to get killed there, and as I said, that's a nice shutdown. They waited. I think they waited too long because of the open area.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really sure what they were waiting for. Just because the initial boom doesn't land. Sacking Boomer and then waiting another 20 seconds for a Spitter just so you can land the Spit Charge or hope to land a Spit Charge, it just isn't worth it. You should just throw the attack in as a whole and just sack correctly to get what you want for the next attack. Basically, all they had to do was throw in the Charger first, guarantee themselves a Charger for the next hit, and then just throw Boomer second, and then you're pretty much guaranteed a Spitter.
How did they get the same hit?
What do they have? A Smoker?
Jockey, Charger, Smoker, Boomer. That's the same hit that they had in the first there, so from whatever Sakura they tried to go in with, they still managed to get the perfect setup for this choke.
Hey, Jacob.
Jacob!
Fix Pro
What
mod.
is this? Yeah, Pro mod, please.
It has nothing.
Weird.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Pro mod. The spawn is just the vanilla spawn order and sack order and how all that works. So it's nothing on Jacob's part. The only thing that's really changed is the spawn timers, which just increase how fast the SI get their spawns, pretty much. It's down from 30 seconds to 20 seconds, I believe it is.
So, SI are not actually setting up in front here. They could have gotten the Death Jockey off, but Coach is still trying to curve his way around there, and just has to make sure you don't hit space on that ladder, as we mentioned before. But it looks as though Infector is setting up in the back there. I guess they're going to try... Oh, no.
Well, that's special.
Like a fool hanging there.
This is going to be interesting, because now Nick is down. Charger is jumping. That Charger, I think he took a little... And what the heck? Nick just got free for no reason. Charger's going to get that charge. He's going to charge him forward, but what did we just watch, Kissme? Nick just got free.
We just watched the epitome of L4D2 2.
Jacob!
This game has some major problems. I mean, stuff like that happens to me all the time, especially like on Dark Carnival 1, on the hill that you drop down towards the river. I get stuck on the ledges when you drop. I don't know why.
Really?
The game just hates me. I just hang and my body's like in the ground.
That was a very... And the thing is, due to that glitch happening, the Infected sent that hit in as... I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But we do have pods going out from the Survivors right now. Yeah, that's the epitome of Left 4 Dead. That and the fact that they got the same hit twice in a row. Some people base their Infected attacks on... It sounds like the train's still moving for me. I really hope it's not.
No, it's not. It's the sound. It's a sound wave pretty much that just repeats, and that's actually always going on. Those little squeaks and whatnot that you probably don't hear because there's gunfire and zombies going on around you.
Yeah.
But it's just one consistent wave file, and it's just like any alarm pretty much in the game. It just is always going on regardless. As long as the crescendo's going, it's playing.
Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, honestly, they had the perfect hit twice in a row there because they got that hit to start off with, and then they got very lucky. And unfortunately, like we said, due to that random like little glitch occurring, then they just sent the rest of the hit in as if they were going to be able to set up on it. So, unfortunate for Team Ayamanashol. They still have some time to get some nice chip in here. Another one of the really interesting things that I saw from the SSS versus Serious Business game is that if a tank is supposed to spawn on the bridge, you'll actually just see the percentage get more and more and more as the train car rolls down to prevent the tank getting run over by the train. Because if the tank actually gets hit by the moving train, I think that's an instant death for the tank. So they just push it back and back until the tank is off the bridge.
Indeed, I'm not actually too sure how that works. I think the tank literally can't spawn until the train moves all the way, which in some way I think that could be exploited pretty heavily, because if you know the tank's supposed to spawn on the train or right after the train, basically you could just hit the lever on the train and then just run back, and you're like guaranteed an AI tank.
Pretty much, yeah. And now we're going to see... Yeah, that's a really good point. Now we're going to see the attack going in here without really a whole lot of things to kill the survivors with by throwing them off of places, for lack of a better clickable term there. Boomer's actually going to spot and get popped. Hunter gets nicely skeeted. They're going to throw that spit in there for a bit of a delay, but I do believe survivors will be able to make it out without the other spawns coming up. This is a nice turn of events for Kamikazi Heroes so far. They're going to be able to navigate this choke without a whole lot of incident.
Yeah, and good on them. Definitely in the beginning there when Bullhead actually ledge hung himself somehow, some way. I'm not too sure what happened there, but it happened, and luckily the survivors were able to make it out of there without any scars or scratches on them. There was a miss.
They just got the same hit again. Smoker, Jockey, Boomer, Charger. That's the third time this map they've gotten that hit.
Maybe they're just lucky. That is weird though.
I mean, survivors didn't push forward either, so now they actually are going to be... I again spoke, like, it's like they hate me or something. It's like, I make a prediction, now this is going to happen. Jockey just dropped down to the walkway, so now they know the Jockey's up. Boomer hasn't spawned in yet. Smoker and Charger look to be coming from the front, and we have another pause.
And that's a Jockey, I see.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a little bit of misplay there at the beginning of this bridge during that hit. Rochelle was pretty much down on the lower scaffolding of the bridge, and she was just kind of standing there trying to get Bullhead up. And the Charger was up above her. Like, if the Charger just dropped and charged her off the scaffolding, the little pathway there, walkway if you will, she would have been dead. Like, she took so long to actually realize, oh, I should get off this, I should go up the ladder. And just kind of a misplay on their part. But there's been quite a few misplays, just like the survivor clearing the Charger last map, which ended up killing one of the survivors, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, just stuff like that really can't be predicted, just depending on what survivors do. I'm going to be extremely interested to see how this turns out now, because you got the Jockey spawned up in the air. Obviously, the survivors know it's there. But then you also have the unspawned Charger and Smoker, and if the Charger hits it right, that is a death charge right through those two pillars there. So... survivors still have to be careful. I guess they sat there just to wait out the rest of the horde, but I'm trying to not spawn the tank. I'm trying to think why they didn't just push through this choke.
Yeah, maybe they think the tank's gonna spawn it right after, and they don't want some of the residential common. They don't want some of the leftover common to come and interfere with them running back or taking the tank wherever they want to take it. But so they're just gonna wait. The horde is officially over. It looks. Oh, nice pull going on a coach, but Charger's not gonna be there in time. Good clear onto the Smoker though. That was so close to a death charge. The Smoker got cleared just in the nick of time to save Coach's life, I believe it was.
Yeah, so now they are going to be able to... Now, I don't think it was something with the tank, because they're only at, like, what, 53% now, and the tank's at 76, so they really don't... They didn't have a chance of really that happening. Boomer's going to scratch the switch, she is going to go off, scratches the Boomer for... Okay, scratches Boomer for good measure, it's now coming back. I think she's going for Rochelle, but she's going to get killed way before that happens, so... Another pretty nice handle there by Team Kamikazi Heroes. They have a very, very nice health situation at the moment, so this tank needs to do work.
Yeah, this tank has quite a order to fill here with the health of the survivors. Hopefully he can make it happen. I want to see a really close game here. It's been amazing so far, and hopefully it can continue on its path to being one of the great games of the week.
Indeed, and it's coming at the right time, because this is one of the last matches I believe we will be casting this week due to the time, and then... if I'm not mistaken, Stupid will slap me if I'm wrong, but I do believe we will have the next pairings for the next round coming out at somewhere around midnight tonight. Hard's going to pounce in there. Actually, he's going to manage to land there onto Roche after being chipped down. Also going to get pulled forward into that spit a little bit. Nick gets stumbled by the Jockey into the spit too for a couple ticks of damage, and we should be seeing that tank relatively soon.
Indeed, tank should be up fairly short here. I'm going to give it another like 5 or 10 seconds, and tank will be spawning up. I'm not too sure who's going to have the tank, though. I didn't actually look at who said was going to become the tank.
We actually can't tell, can we, from spec?
Actually, no, we can't, because it's only SI. Only they know who the tank is, I believe. And there it is, finally. It was about 10 seconds. I was right. But we're going to have tank up in the hands of Spartan for a Ayamanashol, and we're going to see what they can do with this tank here.
Indeed, we will wait for that war room until the next half of this chapter, and Survivors are playing pretty aggressive right now. They're going to be pushing that tank. He's going to turn around and throw a rock. All right. He's going to throw that rock in, and the rock's going to get skidded. They're going to send the support in now. Tank's jumping around there. He's going to try to get Ellis, but he's not. He's going to have the arm length. Charger is going to land. Common actually managed to block Ellis just a little bit there. So Ellis is in a complete corner. Tank has him right where he wants him, and he's going to miss that two-hand overhand, and he's trying to push Ellis. And Ellis actually managed to knock himself out there. Tank doesn't have a whole lot of health left, and that's going to be a dead tank.
That was actually one of the fastest tanks I think I've seen in this whole tournament so far. It's a pretty bad tank spawn, though, in general. We'll see Kamikaze Heroes getting that exact same tank spawn on their SI side. And really, what we should see the survivors doing to actually nullify that tank right off the bat is just push into his face. Like, there is no ands, ifs, or buts. The survivors have no reason to not push that tank because he's in the wide open and you know there's not going to be any SI like coming around or, you know, boomers close to you by cars because there's absolutely nothing inside of that. It's just a wide open area. We do have a Hunter jockey working the way from the back here. I'm going to try and put the camera in reverse here and try to back up through this hallway. I did it very well. Charlie going, getting a chest bump on Alice. A nice double cap on the back, and there's going to be no supporting SI. There's that spitter finally getting a little bit of spit damage out there on the Nick, but a little bit too late there with the spit. I guess spitters had a hard time getting through the dorm. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, and Elsa took a little bit more proxy damage there from that spit, but the survivors are currently sitting at an 812 health bonus. That is massive for this map.
Yeah, that is an absolutely monster of a health bonus here. And really, we need to see one hell of a hit here by, or not Kamikazi, but Ayamanashol here. And maybe even some FF here by Kamikazi Heroes to bring that health bonus a little bit. We're going to see a pull trying to go out in the back. Misses, though. Boomer lands onto Coach. And Charge looking for a target. They actually grab Ellis on the other side of the tent. Nice pull onto Coach while he smoked. That's be quite a bit of damage. Ellis is going to take a full down here. Actually, no. He's pretty close, though. He's down to like 6 HP on temp. But Suarez will make the safe one without the end cap going out. And that was actually really nicely played there by Kamikazi Heroes. A little bit of separation at the end there. Almost spelled disaster. But Big C... being cleared by his teammates quick enough and makes him the safe with 1 health.
He does, and the thing is, that Charger, the initial smoke went on to Coach. He actually didn't have a whole lot of perm health. He still had perm health, but then the damage on Ellis is all on non-health bonus. That's why they still managed to make him such a nice score. And they find themselves now Kamikazi Heroes with a 1,864 point lead here to play now for Ayamanashol Survivor turn in this 4th chapter. So that's a pretty comfortable position that they're in.
Definitely. I mean, that's an absolutely monster of a lead there for Kamikazi Heroes. But at the same time, Ayamanashol can make it back. They just have to make it with some, you know, a little bit more health bonus. Because they're only down, what, like 400 coming into this map?
Mm-hmm.
So all they have to do...
the thing is, it's, in my opinion, it's really hard to come back on this finale.
Yeah, this finale, I mean, there are teams that make this finale with like 1,200 health bonuses because the finale is just absolutely... it's overpowered. You might as well not... You shouldn't even play the rest of the maps. You just play the finale because that's basically what dictates this whole, like, thing. But we're now attack going in here. Charger coming from safe from Jockey is shut down immediately. Charger not landing on anything, and a boom goes down to 3 survivors. And that'll call a bit of horde here, and really only 4 damage going out there by Cygnus. I believe he was a smoker, and he got a scratch, I think.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of assist damage now as that common does continue to pound. So only about 8 damage for that attack, but they did cycle there before Team Ayamanashol did on their infected side. So that means that they are going to be getting more hits, and they're probably going to be able to get another hit in here relatively soon. It's going to be a Charger, a Jockey, a Hunter, and either Boomer or Spitter, depending on it. Since they had a Boomer in that attack, it should probably be... no, it's another Boomer. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So now that they have that Boomer in as well, they should be able to get a pretty nice hit here. Hunter is going to be spawned up right now, is jumping around, creating a little bit of a distraction. Rochelle's trying to pick him through there, but will not be able to get much. Jockey spawned up inside the trailer, now jumping around outside, trying to get better positioning on the survivors. They're going to probably try to use that Jockey and that Hunter as a distraction for that Charger and or Boomer. Survivors are just backing up.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure what the whole point of pre-spawning the Hunter and Jockey were. It's kind of just giving away where the SI are and what they have for this attack. A little bit of misplay once again there on Kamikaze's part, in my opinion. I wouldn't have pre-spawned anything. If anything, I would have the Boomer just lead and then have Jockey, Hunter, Charger work their way in after and try to like just gang up on one of the survivors and go for those punches, scratches, and just work on one person.
Pretty much. Now that Boomer is going to try to get that Boomer, and he's going to make a nice try-boom there, but unfortunately the Hunter and the Jockey are already kind of picked. Charger's not going to be able to get much of anything. That Hunter only has a little bit left of easy clear there for survivors. Charger getting some nice punches, though, on Ellis, and that Jockey's going to land on Rochelle, too. Charger's doing a great job there, just keeping Ellis there separated, and then they actually turned a attack that looked like it wasn't going to get much of anything and did some pretty nice damage.
That was absolutely insane. The SI hit was completely botched, except for the Boomer. The Boomer did an okay job, but then when the SI finally started getting cleared, they got cleared, but no kills went out onto the SI, and they were able to just basically repounce and just punch away at the survivors. We have a pull going out here on the separated Ellis in the back. That'll be a couple ticks worth of damage. Boomer getting the nice single boom, double boom. Wow.
Double.
He barely got that double onto Ellis before he got killed, and we have a free split just going out trying to delay survivors. And that is actually a perfect spit spread. Oh my god.
That was beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Can you respec, please, good sir? Because I'm seeing you as a spitter right now.
No.
Okay, fine.
I will not respect.
Alright, well, then there goes that. So, oh, there we go. Okay. So now they are going to have a nice smoker. It's going to be our familiar Charger Smoker Jockey setup that Ayamanashol got 3 or 4 times this map. We'll see if they get the Boomer or the Spitter there. They did manage to kill that Spitter, so it should be a very, very nice setup here. And I think we're going to see Team Kamikazi Heroes play a little bit differently, because Ayamanashol wanted to wait until the survivors came back, and I'm pretty sure Kamikazi Heroes is going to put stuff forward here. And from their spawns, it looks like they will.
Reloading here.
I'm not really sure. I think when it comes to this event, Ayamanashol is gonna play back just like Kamikaze Heroes did, just for the fact that there is a witch at the end of this bridge, and you don't want to push into the witch when they're still common up. You want to try and just take her on your own terms.
Oh.
But if we do see an SI attack get thrown in, then I could see them pushing it then.
I'm sorry, I meant like the infected spawns where they were setting up, not that the survivors were going to do, yeah.
I thought you were talking about like when they were gonna like push witch for some reason. We do. Oh, Smoker's actually going for a death pull. I've never seen that spot before. That is incredibly interesting. I think it might actually land. Actually, it will land.
Is that a death pull, or is that just
I
an
believe
in-cap?
I believe it's a death pull. It's off the ledge.
We're gonna find out.
Big Smoker play coming in here soon. Goes for the spawn. Actually gets the pull on. The coach will be cleared. Oh, it's actually a ledge hang. I lied. I actually thought
the jockey.
I thought the Smoker was gonna pull the survivor off the ladder.
Why is,
I thought that would
the
be.
jockey not killing him?
What?
Wait, what the hell just happened to Nick?
Nick just pressed spacebar off the ladder, and that's gonna be a death charge on the Rochelle. Yeah. So.
Survivors match wipe there. Nick decided to jump off the. Did you get that on camera?
Yes.
God darn it. See, that's what we talked about with the event, because there are so many ways